All right, good morning, sir. You're going to be on the record in 475099323 and 475099423, State of Texas versus Andre Jefferson. The court will take notice of the content of the court's file and all of our prior proceedings. The court will call both of these matters together and receive complete paperwork in both cases. The court will give the same admonishments in both matters. All right. Good morning, sir. Go ahead and raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear affirm the testimony you'll give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right, put your hand down. Tell me your name. And Mr. Jefferson, are you indeed the defendant in both of these matters? Does the indictment reflect the correct spelling of your name? Can you speak, read, and write in the English language? All right, I've got documents in both cases. They look like this. This is a packet of documents that I believe will be introduced later. States Exhibit 1 and States 1, 2, and 3. They look like this. Have you read the content of this packet? With the help of your attorney, do you understand all that it says? Where it says defendant here, is this your signature here telling me you understand the rights contained within it?
Yes.
Here's some of these documents. You wish to waive certain rights, namely the right to trial by jury, the right to the appearance of, confrontation, cross-examination of the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to an appeal, and all of the rights mentioned in these waivers. Is that what you wish to do today? Both sets of packets, there is a stipulation of evidence. The stipulation of evidence is a judicial confession of the offenses charged in the indictment. In both cases, I'm showing you the stipulation. Is this your signature in the stipulation of evidence? And by signing the stipulation of evidence, do you swear affirm that it is true and correct in both cases? All right, court will accept the written waivers. I will sign them all to show my approval. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Despite your representation, you are and must admonish you to plead guilty can and may result in your deportation, exclusion from this country, and denial of admission under federal law. Do you still wish to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever had any mental health problems?
No, sir.
Are you currently under prescription medication?
No, sir.
And 475099323, the indictment, your matter charges you with the offense of sexual assault of a child alleged to have been committed on the 20th day of February 2023. Carries with it a punishment range of not less than 2 years, but not greater than 20 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. Fine not to exceed $10,000. And 475099423, the indictment, your matter charged with the offense of improper relationship between an educator and a student alleged to have been committed on the 20th day of February 2023. It carries with it the same punishment range of a second-degree felony. In both cases, you understand the language of the indictments as well as the punishment range.
Yes, sir.
You believe that the attorney representing you has fully investigated your case.
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with his representation? Mr. Mills, are you satisfied your client understands his rights, is competent, and is prepared to enter pleas to these matters?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe he understands the consequences of entering a plea of guilt?
He does.
That being the case, formally to the charge of sexual assault of a child and alleged by the state, clause number 475099323, that charge, how do you plead guilty or not guilty? And 475099423 to the charge of improper relationship between the educator and student as alleged by the state in the indictment against you. How do you plead to that matter, guilty or not guilty? In both cases, does anyone promise you anything other than the plea bargain to get you to plead guilty? Has anyone threatened you, forced you, coerced you, or done anything unlawful to you to get you to plead guilty in both cases? Are you pleading guilty in both cases because you are guilty and for no other reason? I will find you present and competent to stand trial. I'll find your plea of guilt has been made freely, knowingly, and intelligently. The court hereby accepts your plea of guilt in both cases. State, do you have any evidence?
State offers Exhibit 1, the plea packet, Exhibit 2, the signed stipulations, and Exhibit 3, the 3914 compliance form.
The court will admit in both cases, States Exhibit 1, 2, and 3. The court signed all of the waivers. I will take notice of them now. For the record, state, what is the agreement of the parties?
It is for 10 years confinement at the Texas Department of Corrections, and we are in compliance on this case. We have spoken to the victims, and they do not wish to be held.
State, do you believe that this is in the interest of justice?
We do.
All right. Mr. Mr. Jefferson, is that also your understanding what the state would recommend, what you've agreed to in both cases? All right. Court will follow the agreement of the parties. Court finds the defendant has entered his plea in this matter voluntarily. The defendant was competent to make such a plea. There is sufficient evidence contained in the stipulation of evidence to support the defendant's plea. Find the defendant guilty in 475-09-9323 of the offense of sexual assault of a child, and in 475-09-9423 the offense of improper relationship between an educator and a student. Beyond a reasonable doubt, the court now finds the defendant guilty of both of those offenses, and I will assess his sentence in both matters at 10 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. There will be no fine. He will be responsible for costs of court. They will run concurrently. The court will grant him credit for any time that he's already been incarcerated in our jail. He'll get good time credit for whatever the Texas Department of Criminal Justice gives you. The court is going to require registration and the DPS sex offender registration for life in both cases. Is there anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else, Mr. Mills?
No.
All right. All right. Mr. Jefferson, do you have any questions? All right. That sentence is formed for now. Let's go ahead and see the bailiff. He's going to get your fingerprint. Good luck.